I hope this finds you well. Hope you had a good Labor Day weekend there. I know I did. Had some downtime, but now it's time to get back on your side hustle. Tonight, I am driving in the Mission Valley segment of San Diego, California on a $2 per delivery incentive from what time? 6 p.m. probably till about 8:30 p.m. And I already got my first request, Chick-fil-A, but I don't know about you, but sometimes most times, Chick-fil-A's can be pretty slammed, so let's see what it's like over there. Before we start, check it out. Check it out. All right, what is it? This is the free DoorDash mask. All right, check it out. It's got adjustable little plastic pulls. Oh, it's very stretchy. Oh, it is really comfortable. So you can get this for free. Pretty cool. But what else is cool is your driver mic masks with even more coverage, super stretchy, super soft, breathable. I like how these turned out. Number one. Or your driver mic, oh, there we go. Your driver mic team logo. These are sweet. It's a light, it's soft, it's stretchy. These are linked down below as well. So the debate rages on. Do you need to sit next to a hotspot to get another order? Or do you even need to sit in your scheduled marketplace to get another order? So I'm testing that. I've tested it before. I don't think this is going to turn out well, but I'm going to stay right here and I'm going to wait for an order. And based on my knowledge, I'm actually outside of my scheduled market segment, which is Mission Valley. Now, I'm only going to wait here a maximum of 5 minutes because my time's valuable, your time's valuable. So let me know in the comments, if you finish an order like this outside of your scheduled market segment, do you typically get an order? Do you get an order in the new segment? Do you get an order in the old segment? Or do you not even get an order? I'm going to predict that I'm not going to get an order. I'm too far away from Mission Valley, or I'm going to get one on the very south end of Mission Valley. See, I am telling you, if you finish an order outside of your market segment, you should at least make the effort to just inch back in to the scheduled market zone because, as we just saw, as soon as I got into the Mission Valley market segment, and oddly enough, when I guess slow down and or park, let me know if you feel the same way, but as soon as I got situated in this plaza, I got 2 requests. So you saw I declined 2 orders, the first of which it wasn't paying enough, and trying to do the mental math on the dollars to mile ratio, I'm hoping that the second one has a better ratio. I'll put it up on the screen now. But there's our next order. I got it again as soon as I got back into this market segment. Let's go do the pickup. Okay, so number one, I guess I'm just surprised how dark it gets apparently. It's only 7:30, but I don't know, maybe that's just the iPhone. Anyway, here's a good quiz for you real quick because I got another order. So I just finished my order here in Point Loma. Now, I would like you to go to a hotspot. Obviously, hotspots are where orders are generally coming from. So you pull up show hotspots on DoorDash. Which one should you necessarily pick? Should you pick this one because it's apparently the closest, or should you pick this one, which is still pretty close, it's just not as close? Well, I went with this one, and I did that versus the previous hotspot because, again, market expertise, this is what I want you to work on, is I know both of those hotspots. Now, the first being, yeah, it's popular, it's like a mini plaza, there's a 7-Eleven, but the one that I ended up going to is more in my main area where there's a ton of restaurants around. And again, as soon as I basically park, I got an order. And ironically, it is right back to Point Loma. I mean, that's just how these things go. You don't really know where you're going to go with these orders. Now, of course, you can decline it, but the dollars to mile ratio seemed pretty good. So I ended near Belmont Park here in the Pacific Beach area of San Diego. So why just finish at home when I could give you a kind of unique follow-up tonight's shift? Now, tonight was pretty interesting because there was a few strategies that we had to do when deciding which hotspot to pick. And I went over a few methods of exactly which hotspots you should pick, not always based on distance. So you know the rules. If I finish near the beach, I gotta stop at the beach. So here we are, evening in Pacific Beach here in San Diego. So let's go over a little bit about how this shift went. So two variables that we had to consider tonight when it comes to orders. That's how far it is, the distance, because you saw the two orders, it took us over to Point Loma. So I want you to always consider the miles, right? How far is that order? Not only do I want you to look at the dollars to mile ratio, but I want you to consider, is it worth it for me to drive in that location? So we are back, we are home. I completed this, really, it was a fun shift, but we learned a lot, or I hope you learned a lot from this shift. So takeaways from this shift. Number one, where exactly to sit to get an order with DoorDash. The takeaway from that is it may not necessarily be the closest hotspot on the Dasher app. And I also want you to do your own market research that there may be super busy areas that aren't even marked as a hotspot currently. Number two, possibly, and this is where I need your help, possibly where not to sit to get an order. And that is anywhere outside of your scheduled marketplace. But the wrench that was thrown into this research, I guess field research, whatever, that I did tonight was I got an order in a different marketplace tonight. So I need your help. Let me know down below in the comments. Do you get orders whenever you finish an order outside of your scheduled zone? Do you get an order in that new zone, or do you typically have to drive back to your scheduled zone? Maybe 80% of the time, I have to go back to the scheduled zone. Now, the reason that I got this order tonight in the new zone, well, I mean, I don't know for sure, but I was finishing a shift, maybe it was getting closer to the end of my shift, and maybe that new area was just so slammed with orders that they said, hey, toss me an order basically. Because what? There probably wasn't enough drivers and or just slammed with orders. Now what I see is you'll still get any peak pay bonuses in the new zone. You'll get the peak pay bonus from the scheduled zone. But let me know if you see that, maybe 80-20 split. Do you see an 80-20 split of getting an order in the new zone versus having to go back to your scheduled zone? So since we're done, let's actually find out if I made any money or any money that was really worth driving for. Let's look at the numbers. So tonight's shift from 6 p.m. finished around 8:20 p.m. Initially, I was scheduled in the Mission Valley Market segment on a $2 peak pay bonus. The gross revenue for this shift was $61.75. For 2 1/3 hours of driving, that equals a gross revenue per hour of pretty good, $26.50 per hour. During this shift, I completed 4 deliveries, received 4 tips, and had some higher tips tonight. So the average tip, $7.75. Business miles were higher tonight because I did have to drive over to Point Loma. That was that marketplace that was more westward. Twice tonight I had to drive over there. Business miles, 42.2, which gives us a tax deduction of $24.27. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And if you have this side hustle, if you've been doing this a while or you're just getting started, make sure you have the very best accessories for your side hustle. Visit my Amazon storefront, that linked down below. You can click or tap the screen now for my most recent video, as well as a video recommended for you, and I'll see you in the next one.